Welcome back to the Growing Together podcast with me, Sunny Vasquez.
And me, Cesar Santos.
A podcast where we talk about everything under the sun related to growth and becoming the best version of you. Today we have an exciting episode. I'm super stoked for it. We want to give you, bang for your buck, although no one's paying for this, but we want to provide value, but we also kind of want it to be entertaining. You saw us, if you did see this episode, you saw us do the Hot Ones Wing Challenge for the Season 18 sauces. How did you feel doing that, Cesar?
I felt pretty proud of myself. We went through it, and it was a challenge.
It definitely was hot, right?
And I don't know. After doing it, that's the second time I've done that. It was actually, I don't know. I thought it was cool. I thought it was nice.
That was the first time you did those sauces.
Yeah, that first time I did those specific sauces, but I've done the bomb before, but it still gets you no matter what.
It's so bad.
It's really bad.
And it's one of the only sauces that they kept, I think, on the show just because of how awful it is.
It's iconic too.
But Cesar and I are, spicy connoisseurs at this point.
Yeah.
And we were sent this death nut by one of my coworkers. He did the one chip challenge. He had also bought this, and then after he did the one chip challenge, he was like, nah. And I was like, oh, I would do it. So he sent it to me, and now we cannot back out. So we've got to do it. I tried to align our episode topic with the death nut. So the theme is, how much is my life worth? And so is my life worth making it worse doing this? But yeah, I want to talk about self-worth, where we tie our self-worth to, what self-worth is, just different areas. And I think as we eat this death nut, we're going to think to ourselves, was it worth it?
Was it worth it?
Is it worth the views? Is it worth entertaining the masses? But we'll find out. And Cesar and I are pretty much down to try anything. So the way this death nut works is there's 5 different bags of peanuts, and I'm just going to take them out right now. They're labeled, thank God.
Okay,
so we know
good.
which ones they are. I'm not really sure. It doesn't say if you have to eat all the peanuts in the packages because there's quite a few.
There's, like 4
so I
in
think
here.
I'll figure out, like, as we go, if we feel a little, adventurous, we'll
take one or more.
One or more.
Okay.
So there's 5 different packages, and they get hotter as you go. And the last one is the death nut. So let me put this. Yeah, the last one's the death nut. So I'm excited, but I'm also kind of scared because I feel like a peanut is super tiny, and
Into the box.
a peanut is super tiny, and it can't be that spicy, can it? And they don't look terrifying. The one chip does. The one chip challenge does look kind of terrifying.
I mean,
and we've done it, but
the packaging on this, if you're watching on YouTube or on Spotify, this looks pretty menacing. I don't know about that.
But here's my other thought is they wouldn't sell it to the public if it could kill you. So
I mean,
that's what's going through my mind and trying to keep me sane. We do have water. We have ice cream downstairs, so that's kind of my go-to if it gets really spicy. But yeah, let's get this episode.
Let's get started. Let's get it on the roll.
So I think we'll just take the first one. As before I get into this topic. So, like I said, we're going to talk about what we tie our worth to and how we place value in our life. And I can't open this down.
I was going to say, you have really nice nails, so I wouldn't want you to... damn, they actually... What the world? Okay,
Make it impossible to
I got
open.
it. I don't want to just rip it open. I want to rip
Okay.
it open, then it all flies out.
So we probably should have gotten gloves with these, but we'll be fine. Okay, I'm gonna give Cesar this one's covered right here.
Okay, so this one, the back says that this is mild, heat level mild. So a special blend of Carolina Reaper and Dalty peppers.
I feel like Carolina Reaper right stuff isn't that bad.
Okay. Cheers.
Oh God.
It's also, warm West Indies Scotch bonnet. So it has like a hint of... Damn, these actually get started like
Very high.
already high. I mean, when I read mild and it says Carolina Reaper, I'm like, the Carolina Reaper, for some of you, if you did watch the podcast, was like, I think on the bomb had it. Okay, all right.
Damn, I should have started talking before we ate the peanut.
I should have probably told you I had that before even.
I knew it had that.
Okay.
So yeah, it's spicy. That's a very spicy nut. Kind of scared for the next one, but so I wanted to talk about what we tie our worth to, and when you think about your self-worth, Caesar, what do you often tie your value to? How do you value yourself?
Well, I mean, when I talk about myself to other people, I often tie myself to my job. We've talked about this before, to what I do. And I put value there, right? Like, because I can create value with the skills that I have for people, create added value to their businesses or their brand or whatnot. But that's where I start off.
But without your job, I came across something yesterday that was like, how do you feel about yourself after everything is taken away? Like, who are you without your job, without the people around you? Where are you gonna tie your value then to?
I guess to myself, obviously, duh. But like, I have people that care about me, so I often try to. I guess I often see that I add value to their life. You know, whether I'm a son, also someone's fiance. But again, like we talked about before, I'm seeing the value that I can add to other people's lives, not myself. But I mean, I guess to myself, I'm an artist. I value myself as a person that knows a lot of things. I feel like I can figure things out.
How's your mouth?
Oh man, that's number one. That's insane. What the hell?
So yeah, I have some notes written down, and when I think of self-worth, a lot of times, kind of like you mentioned, I'm tying my value to other people's opinions of me, or, you know, my own anxieties. Like when I'm anxious and I'm doubtful, my worth is then damaged because I'm letting these fears and these anxieties run amok in my head, and I'm allowing that negative self-talk to kind of impact how I view myself. And kind of going back to the theme of today's episode, a lot of times, like, it's funny that we're doing this because I saw a video this week where I think it was a streamer. She's either just Twitch or she just streams, and she was trying to raise money for a new, I think, laptop or something like that on her stream, and she was like, for every milestone they reach, she'll do something, and one of them was the one chip challenge.
Oh.
And, you know, she made a video coming up, like, it was about the views and, like, was it worth the views, because she felt awful, and I think she ended up going to the hospital.
Oh, wow.
Because she, like, went full panic, and it's funny because a lot of times we do stuff that's dangerous. For views or for other reasons that at the end of it aren't worth, like, our lives, right? You know, you shouldn't do it unless, like, you know, you really want to, right? And I think that a lot of times that we tie our worth to other people's opinions, our work, or again, that negative self-talk that we say to ourselves, like when we have a bad day, how we feel towards ourselves, that's kind of what we tie our worth to. We often tie it to the things that are going on in our lives, no matter whether good or bad. So, like, you may feel super great about yourself when things are all going in the right direction, but then when things start to spiral downhill, you start to almost devalue yourself when you're having a rough time. And I thought it was interesting to put into perspective as, like, if I had nothing, like no external things to tie my worth to, who would I be? Where would I find the value within myself? And who you are and how you see yourself are keys to understanding your true value. And I think that's one of the hard things is when we're talking about self-worth, it's such like a non-tangible thing, right? It's hard to really determine for ourselves sometimes, depending on how we feel about ourselves. And I think our mental health comes into play too. Like when you're struggling with depression and anxiety, your self-worth is tainted, and sometimes understanding the true value you hold as a person is difficult.
Especially if you are around people who tell you that you're not smart or something, or they're constantly like bringing you down. That could be even more difficult. I've never been in a scenario like that, but I know people that have, and it can get quite difficult when it comes to feeling okay about yourself. But after hearing you talk about that, it made me realize that I guess I do often see myself through other people, like
through the lens of other people.
So I never really think about myself often. I always think about other people first. And I guess I see my worth and my value that I can hopefully make people happy. With no matter what I do.
Yeah, but if you tie your value to making other people happy, when you don't make other people happy, you'll feel upset. But it's not your job to make other people happy, Mm-hmm. It's your job to make sure you're happy and you're good. And it's great to have the kindness in your heart to want to do that to other people, to want to be there for other people and to have that impact in other people's lives. But at the end of the day, like, if that's all you tie your value to, what happens when that doesn't happen? What happens when you're not making or what you feel enough of an impact in someone's life? And I found myself in that same scenario where a lot of who I felt I was as a person, a lot of who I tied my worth to was making sure I was doing what other people wanted me to do and, making other people happy, and I was neglecting myself. I was neglecting the things I needed as a person. And I realized sometimes when you continuously fill other people's cups, they won't fill yours. And I also don't think that's a bad thing. Like, I've had to realize that you can't expect out of others what you give, because everyone's so different and everyone shows love and appreciation so differently. So you've got to come to a realization that sometimes you do have great people in your life. It's just they can't fill your cup in the way that you need. Mm-hmm. They can fill it in other ways, but you can't always give expecting to receive back. Caesar's like, I regret all of this.
I just had no idea it started that fast. I thought it was gonna slowly.
No, I was reading it like this, like for the past week. I was looking at the back of this box, and I'm like, this gets like the party started like real fast. And I'm just gonna say, Douglas is the one who sent me these peanuts, and I'm not eating more than one of these peanuts because I ate that one, and for one, I like peanuts, but not those peanuts. Definitely did not. It honestly wasn't the worst, but I think this is gonna make me not want to ever eat anything that has peanuts in it. Also,
aren't you allergic to peanuts?
I have like an allergy, but not like not like a bad allergy. It's like on a scale. Did a food allergy test and I found that out. Peanuts. This is from one of my coworkers too. We talked about it. Peanuts are not actually nuts. They're legumes.
Oh, never even heard of that before.
Yeah.
Legumes.
Yeah. Before we get on to it, just so Caesar has something to talk about after he eats the nut. Have you ever heard the saying? You have to open this.
That's what I was saying.
This person isn't worth my time, or this person isn't worth another breath.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Either told to someone that I knew or whatnot. Yeah, it was just. I think it's kind of messed up. I think. No,
but remember when when you're the one who taught me this. You know how people will argue on Facebook.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess.
And it's like, oh, it's not worth it. Like you're not getting through it. And I think about that. It's like, I feel like sometimes making that determination of like, is this worth your time or is this worth your energy? For some people, it's so difficult. I know for me, like I was so stubborn in some ways that I felt like I needed to put my energy into things that weren't worth it in the end.
I would say that it is worth it, and especially when it comes to stuff like that on the internet. Obviously, there are battles, that we can and can't go through online. But like this morning, it's funny you bring this up, because there's someone that posted on my stories, one of their stories, and I came across my feed that they needed help with Premiere Pro. Obviously, it's one of the non-linear editing platforms I use to edit video, and I knew exactly how to help him. And so this person was willing to, like, because they were like really annoying that they thought they lost their project. They thought it was deleted, basically.
Oh, damn.
So I went through the steps with him, and we were able to find a solution. He was so happy. He's like, dude, I was at this like for 12 hours, like trying to figure out what the heck, and you helped me figure it out in like a minute. And so that person was willing to learn.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is when people aren't willing to want to learn something that they may think they know already, that's where those arguments start. And that's where it's like, is this person open to learning? If they're not open to learning, then there really is no point in, like discussing these things.
You ready for this next nut?
Yes.
I'm like, oh gosh, my stomach hurts already.
We probably should have ate something.
I always do this on an empty stomach because I feel like I can't vomit if I don't have anything in my stomach.
Well, okay. I don't want to bring it up anymore. Okay. Yeah. Ready?
Cheers.
This one's medium. The party is starting. Carolina Reaper, Ghost Peppers, and the Wicked 7-Pop Brain Strain Pepper. What the heck?
That one I feel wasn't as bad as the first one. I feel like if you can do the first one, you can go to the second one.
You're right. No, that's why I was actually hoping that we kind of get this going, because I feel that if we have
too much time in between, then that's where it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, this is definitely not something, could you imagine doing this on a plane? Whenever I think of peanuts like this, like bag peanuts, I always think of on a plane because that's the first time. Oh my God, you're crazy.
I just needed to make sure that it was.
Caesar's after this is going to be in bed. I don't feel good. I don't feel good, Sonny.
If it is, you gotta record it and I'll put it in the podcast.
Yeah, and I'm going to be like,
as a blooper.
Oh, you wanted to. Yeah, that one actually wasn't bad. If my stomach didn't hurt from the first one, I would eat another one. But, like, I have a feeling my stomach is going to be in so much pain. I was telling my CEO about this, but we have, like, a Friday call every week. And I was telling him, he was like, oh, what are you guys doing this weekend? I was like, oh, I was telling the team earlier, I'm going to do the Death Nut Challenge. He was like, Sonny, what is wrong with you? Like, why do you keep doing these things? I'm like, honestly, got a need for speed.
This is your crack.
This is my crack. No, I just think it's cool, when you get these chances to do things. This is how I'm adventurous. I stay at home all the time, but I will do these challenges. And, at the end of the day, you'd be like, oh, I did that. I survived that. This is my Everest.
This is your Everest.
The Death Nut says regretfully hot. We have 2 more peanuts before the Death Nut, but it says get in there, question your commitment. Honestly, I think Douglas could have done this.
Well, didn't he say that he had an issue with the one chip challenge, or was it?
He did really good with the one chip challenge. Like, he was like didn't drink any water like for the first 6 minutes, and that's a long time because it's hot.
We should have my brother Noah downstairs try one of these.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's what, yeah.
But I think he just felt really awful afterwards and was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. Yeah, so I mean, also when I think about my self-worth and is this worth it for my life, I've started to think more about my mental health and is this worth jeopardizing my mental health? Is this worth jeopardizing my happiness? And I think a lot of times the argument that gets brought into play with this is, money. Like, oh, money doesn't solve happiness, but people are like, oh, would you do this for $1 million, or would you be in this situation if it paid X amount? And while money is great and we need money to make the world go round, I think that I've become a person who, obviously I understand that I need money and I need to provide for myself, but there's also certain situations where I'm not willing to sacrifice my happiness for it. And I realized when it comes to my work environment too, I'm not willing to sacrifice my happiness and a stable mental health for a job, because at the end of the day, there's that saying, you could die and they're gonna replace you, and that's business. But so it's why are you gonna stress over the things that you can't control within like a job, or like, I think my main goal, I talk about this all the time, but it's all about balance. There's certain things we have to do in this world. Like, we've got to have a job. So my balance is making sure I like my job. And I know that not everyone can do that. And again, some jobs are just to mean to an end. But then also, like, something I have struggled with is tying my entire identity to like my job or to the external validation that I receive from people. And I know I've talked about this before, and that's something that I'm still working on. Yourself, I feel like you don't just wake up and sometimes you wake up and you just don't feel great about yourself, and there's not a lot of means to explain why. I know you'll ask me, what's going on? Like, explain to me. It's like, I don't know how. I don't know how to explain how I'm feeling. I don't know why I'm feeling how I'm feeling, I think it's interesting, it feels like a generation that's more anxious and more depressed, and, we're medicated for these things. And it's like, I don't think, like, while we can, like, do what we can to remedy these situations, I almost think the answer to, like, our problems is within ourselves. But because it requires a lot of work and it requires a lot of time to kind of get to know yourself and to get to know yourself fully, we want to look for the easier solutions,
The simple solutions, the here, take this, or
we want that, like,
so.
we want that magic little thing to fix. That's gonna fix everything. Like, if there was a button that you could just press it. But again, I think we've learned throughout, like, this podcast. Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm good. It's just my stomach. Yeah,
I think we've learned from this podcast that growth it's a process, and it's consistent, and it's not meant to be easy, but the only way we learn is by going through the nitty gritty, from like going through these experiences. And I had a conversation with my mom the other day, and I was just like, I've honestly realized that as shitty as it is sometimes, experience is the greatest teacher. So if someone has to experience something in order for them to learn that lesson, you've got to let it happen. You've got to let them figure it out for themselves. I also saw a video where it was like a kid is climbing. He was like, you've got to let him learn his lesson. Like, if he's doing this in a safe manner, even though it's dangerous, if he's doing something dangerous safely, you've got to let him learn his lesson, and like the consequences of the what they're doing. If you try to protect your, like, whether it be your kids or other people from the world, how do they learn?
That's true. I mean, most of the time people end up. I mean, again, I can't tell everyone how to parent, because first of all, I'm not a parent yet. But I know that if you're bringing up your kids in an environment where they always have what they need, where obviously there's needs like you need a roof over your head, food, obviously, duh. But
yeah,
where they always get what they want, maybe that's not a good thing. Maybe them having to like work hard for it, whether it's mowing lawns or, I don't know, cutting trees or something, right? Where they learn the value in things and also get hurt too, right? Like maybe hurting themselves, breaking their arm. I know I broke my arm.
Yeah, I broke both of my arms.
Like getting hurt, obviously not to like, put your kids in situations where they can get injured, and it's a bad injury, but like, falling and scraping their arms, like,
teaches you a lesson to not do it again. And I think it's funny because it's very, like, I feel like this life is there's so many contradictions. Like, you want people to learn, but we also have I feel like a need to protect other people.
It's like a safety net.
Yeah, like, as a parent, I know, like, there's a need to protect your kids from certain things, but also sometimes your kids need to experience those things in order to, become the person that they are. I think that it, as like crazy as it sounds sometimes, I feel like every single moment in our life serves some type of purpose, and I think a lot of times we don't understand that purpose, and I don't understand why I'm hurt in certain situations, but I think the only comfort I have is knowing that it's leading to something better. At least I hope something better. And yeah, I mean, I look back on situations, and as painful as they were, as heartbreaking as they were, I look at every moment that led me to where I am now. And I know a year from now, I'll be thinking the same thing, like all the moments that led up to here, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it's, we learn from both. We learn from the good and we learn from the bad and from the situations that we wish didn't happen. But it's like what's like the butterfly effect. It's like,
Yeah.
if this didn't happen, would you be here? How could you know that you would still be in the same position? So I think every moment serves a purpose in that way.
Every situation you've ever been through will definitely serve some sort of learning experience. At least you hope so.
I think this is something that relates to when I think about self-worth and like just worth in general. We often ask ourselves, is this worth my time? And is this worth my effort? And I feel like you've been in a You've been in a space recently where you're looking for more work, and when you come to opportunities, you've kind of got to make that pros and cons list, and you've got to figure out, is this gonna make sense given everything that I know and my needs and my what you need to do,
Yeah, no, I mean, like every decision that someone has to make, whether it's a job or a relationship or friendships or whatever the case is. But for me specifically, with what you're talking about is work. I had to like make sure, like, is this gonna be? Is it just about the money, or is it about other things? Obviously, we need money. Everyone needs money to live, pay bills, obviously. But is the amount of time, effort, knowing the industry that I work in, how things work sometimes, you may end up doing more. So you got to like budget that in.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, is it even worth this amount? And we've all worked in the industry I've worked in this industry for years now, and I know kind of like the ins and outs and like what, if you're just doing one specific role, like what's the worth for that. But so oftentimes people want you to be like an all-in-one
solution, but they don't want to pay
for that all-in-one solution.
I think that's the thing, is that people, your worth and the value of what you provide, but how other people see that value is different. So therefore they offer you a certain amount of compensation because they see it from this different perspective. Oh, this is worth this amount of money. But you, having done this for a long time, is like, oh, well, no, given like everything that this is gonna encompass, like this is actually worth this amount. And at the end of the day, you have to think too, it's not just about that one opportunity, right? You've got to think long term, like what purpose is this going to serve in the grand scheme of things?
Yeah.
And how is this going to advance your career? Because it's not just like we like to think short term. We like to think about the here and now and how this is going to affect us in the here and now. But thinking about the long term is kind of much more effective, because often we look back at things and we're like, oh, I did this because it was a short-term solution, but it screwed me in the long term. So I've been trying to more think about like, okay, this is great, like for now, right? But how is this going to affect your ability to move forward? How is this going to advance your career? And I know we were having that conversation yesterday. But before we continue on, do you want to?
Yeah, let's do it. Because again, I don't want.
Caesar feels like he's. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I wanna make sure we eat these before, like, I feel like eating these as we eat them, they wear off and the next one gets hotter.
I will say that's the good thing though, is it wears off sooner than I
guess.
feel like the bomb did when we did the hot ones. Why did you give me the one covered?
Well, I mean, that's the only way.
Caesar's trying to kill me. I don't know if you can see this, but this thing is covered. Oh God, I'm scared. My stomach just started hurting.
This is number 3. So this is getting there.
Does no one know what we're doing up here?
No, he doesn't.
That's so funny. Caesar's brother is just downstairs watching TV. Doesn't know we're up here killing ourselves.
All right.
Cheers.
Oh wow, Carolina Reaper, 7-pot Dulaw, and a double shot of Bushroot Ghost Pepper. That one actually. Ooh, okay.
I feel like it's definitely spicy. Oh, God. It gets in your throat.
We should have ate something. My stomach's hurting now. The water tastes warm, even though it's cold. Isn't that crazy?
Can you get the ice cream?
Do you want the ice cream now?
I had the ice cream.
Okay.
Oh my God. My mouth is literally on fire.
The thing about the Carolina Reaper, for those of you that don't know, is that like not all peppers, but all of these like ghost peppers, Carolina Reapers, they're all genetically modified to be spicy. But something about the Carolina Reaper, it sneaks up on you twice.
Yeah.
Cracking open a can.
It's literally.
Why does this taste warm? It was just. This thing is cold.
That's how the ice cream tastes.
Honestly, Sonny, I don't know if I'm going to get through this.
Really?
Yeah. Last time, didn't we eat something?
No, we ate the wings. That was the first thing we ate. I have some pretzels if you want some of those. In the drawer.
This is worse than the Hot Ones challenge.
So, how are you feeling about yourself right now, Caesar?
Not good. I think I should have ate something. My stomach's just... So these next ones are just double of the last ones.
Okay.
So double Carolina Reaper and 7-pot Dolo. And then the last one is triple of the same ingredients that we just had.
So it's like not anything different. It's just
My
triple.
stomach, I feel like... Oh, God. I don't want to talk about it on the podcast. Just my stomach's not all there right now.
I mean, my stomach feels a little bit better now. So
I think because you ate the ice cream. I feel like I got punched in the gut.
do you want some ice cream? Do you think it'll help? I mean, we have it. You can eat some. I want to keep this all in because this is funny. Caesar's like dying right now. I think he's really regretting that this was not worth the upset stomach right now.
Yeah, I would have rather had some good wings. For those of you wondering if this is actually painful. Oh wait, it's going away. That's what I'm saying. I think
I just got the worst heartburn. Oh,
that's
God.
what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. It's the heartburn. It's going away. I just gotta. I think the beer helped. Gotta just wait it out. It's like not even the spiciness in my mouth isn't that bad. It's just it's all down there. You know. I think I'll be able to get through it. It's just I was hoping that.
I was like, Caesar cannot bail on me. Can't bail on me and just make me do
I just have to
this
grab
by
another
myself.
beer to finish this up, but it's just let me actually just eat a little bit more of these dots. No, it's just I feel like my stomach was empty. You know?
Well, to be honest, I feel like I always go about these challenges without eating anything because I feel like my stomach hurts more when I have a like when I have a lot in my stomach. That's a meal.
Well, I feel like it gives your stomach having food down
These
there.
pretzels are so good.
Having food down there it gives your belly a place for the, as Kevin Malone would say from The Office, the onions in his hot sauce, they have to, they get a, what does he say?
They get to know each other in the pot.
They get to know each other in the pot.
Imagine this peanut like going down and just like, it's like acid.
Yeah, that's
Like-
what I'm saying. So if you have food down there, it helps it like not be as bad.
Well, I was watching the Hot Ones with David Blaine and he did the bomb like no problem. Like, it's a mindset thing, I think.
Well, the thing is, what the bomb has.
The bomb is worth doing this. I think that I could do this 10 times over the bomb.
Well, mild has Carolina Reaper in it.
Yeah, but Carolina Reaper itself isn't. I think it. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong or if someone thinks different. There's a whole difference in something in liquid form and then like this powdered stuff. So like I feel like the one chip challenge is hard because it's powdered and it's like hard to get out your mouth sometimes, and like.
Right, that's true. You're right.
Whereas the wings, it's a sauce. You know, it's saucy. I feel like it depends. I feel like sometimes this powdered stuff is easier, but like, I don't know.
All right. I mean, I feel a lot better now.
I'm really cold. Like, I'm shaking. I'm freezing.
Really? Your body's going into shutdown?
Shut it down!
Shut it down!
Oh, these look scary.
They're as dark as the other ones we just had. I mean, a little darker probably. They're double. So these are double of number 3.
I'm like shivering. My body like doesn't know how to react. I'm shivering.
Are you seriously shivering?
I'm cold. Like usually it's so hot in this room and I'm cold.
It is actually warm here. I still feel it warm here. Okay. You ready?
I'm so scared. Okay, if we made it to number 4, we have to make it to number
5. There's no joke about this.
I gotta put it on the other side of my mouth because I've been eating it on the right side. Cheers.
Oh, wow. It's just these things hit like... Immediately. Oh, God.
But ice cream helps. I feel it in my ears. You look so bad. Caesar's literally crying.
I feel like going through some kind of euphoric feeling right now.
I don't think euphoric's the word.
Well, now it is. It wasn't the word earlier. I got this.
We're definitely gonna need some more water for the last one. This is definitely more of a YouTube experience than it is in a podcast. Because if someone listens, they're just gonna hear Caesar going.
I never think there's some kind of erotic thing. Seriously, like ASMR or something, but it's not.
It's definitely not your everyday peanut, guys. It's definitely just.
You know what would be messed up? If you wanted to play a prank on someone and like put that in a peanut container thingy or whatever. One that like had spicy peanuts already, you know?
Yeah. Ooh, I'm like chilly. That's how spicy these are. I'm literally cold.
I'm gonna get some more water.
It's honestly crazy that we decided to do this because I don't regret my decisions, but I might later when I feel like absolute garbage. So we're almost to the death nut. It says this is regretfully hot, and that's the heat level. They look terrifying. There's not even a small peanut in here. They're all like what feels like gigantic. I'm freezing. I do want to say, if you made it this far, thank you for listening to our podcast. I don't know if my body's going into shock right now, but Caesar and I love doing this, and maybe not this specific thing, but we love doing this podcast, and it's cool to be able to put ourselves out there. So, and to anyone who listens, we appreciate all the people who listen. So, my mouth is burning. Like, it gets stuck in your throat. Oh, you got the hiccups now?
Yeah, this is actually, if you watch Hot Ones a lot, people get the hiccups after eating spicy. You know, I was thinking on the way back up here, because I remember how I had that idea, it would be a prank. What if, like, Planters, you know, they make a lot of different peanut snacks.
Yeah.
They made a bag called the Spicy Challenge, where they put one of these in there.
Oh, and it's just like, it's like a, what's it called, Russian roulette?
Yeah, so, or maybe not just one, because obviously that's going to be difficult to monitor in, you know, production. You have someone just drop one in every
Drop
bag.
one peanut.
Yeah, that would change. That would have them to change their whole co-packing part. But yeah, they would maybe a few in there somehow, and like just you know where they.
That'd really
open the
upset
bag.
someone's day.
But no, but the bag tells you, warning: this contains a spicy peanut. Consume at your own risk. Like, and it tells you what the spicy peanut has. You know, but they have to put all these disclaimers because of they don't want to get sued. I'm really curious to know if someone's ever died from consuming spicy. Maybe from like, what if like they couldn't breathe? I don't know. That's why a lot of people went to the ER. What do they do? My question is, if you end up going to the ER for consuming one of these like spicy snacks or whatever it is, what are you gonna tell them? You're gonna go in there panicking, and then like, what if they're gonna give you like a shot of like epinephrine to calm you down or something?
No, I think they give you fluids or something.
They do?
Yeah, I think some people's. I don't think people going to the hospital for the spice itself. I think they're going because like they feel like
Panic.
yeah.
We should ask your sister. She's a nurse. Oh, will be a nurse soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, she probably wouldn't know if someone's coming there like, I ate spicy. I can't.
Yeah, I think they give them like fluids and stuff. Just that would be my guess.
Something to calm them down.
But I sure hope no one died from doing this because
I'm gonna have to look it up
scary.
now. I'm just curious. You know what's crazy is the reason that a natural, organic habaneros are the hottest natural pepper. The reason they're so hot is that they built that as a mechanism to prevent animals from eating them. So the second a bird landed on it and pecked it, it would go away because. So it built that mechanism of spiciness for mammals. Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying it like evolved to be spicy?
Yeah, it evolved to be spicy. And the habanero is the spiciest natural one. There's no reason. There's no reason for them to be this spicy, which is why there's a median. They found out habanero was like, I don't have to be any more spicier than this. Yeah, because I was always wondering like what kind of. I was gonna say, like what kind of god would create spicy?
What kind of god are you to create?
Creates like a spicy, but he has jokes, but it's just like a way for animals to be like, yo, I'm not gonna touch that, and then the plant like grows and spreads seeds, and the most spiciest one won, I guess. Sorry. Okay, I'm ready.
Literally feel like I cannot wait to sit in like a bubble bath and just not do anything for this.
You're gonna go in a bubble bath after this?
Yeah, I'm just gonna like. Hopefully that makes you feel better.
Do you want to ask the question before or after?
I don't even have any more questions
You
at
don't-
this point.
you don't?
No, I think this is just kind of turned into like, let's just make sure we finish this challenge.
I have one.
What's it?
How would you describe self-worth to someone who doesn't know what they're worth?
Honestly, it's hard because as someone who struggles with my own self-worth, you can hear all of the things about how valuable you are from other people and like know that they mean it and know that they have good intentions, but I think I feel like sometimes you can't make someone realize how valuable they are. Like it's truly something that you have to do by yourself.
Yeah.
Because I tell my manager this all the time. I was like, you can tell me how great I am every day. I won't believe it. Like, I was like, there's something in my mind that's telling me otherwise all the time. And on a good day, I know my value. I know how worthy I am. But on those bad days, no matter what anyone says to me, no matter what, It is if I can't realize it because I don't currently believe it. And making yourself believe it is honestly the most important because we shouldn't place our worth on what other people think of us. So we need to truly uncover our own value ourselves.
No, that's a good answer. I love that. What a good way to end this last segment here.
Honestly, guys, this is the death nut. If you don't hear from us,
I mean, well, that means that. Oh, damn it! Some of these are broken.
why are you putting them on the table?
Because I want to.
Oh, I'll take the broken one.
No, we want to make sure we don't.
Okay, yours is.
I'll take the bigger one if you want. Okay, so this last one, just for you guys to know, is the Death Nut. 3 times Carolina Reaper, 3 times Morgo Scorpion, a blast of the wicked hot 7-pot Primo Pepper, and a sprinkle of pure all-natural 16 million Scoville capsaicin crystals, which I don't know what the fuck.
What's in the bomb? What's the Scoville on the bomb? We did one that was like
Well, the last one.
1 billion Scoville, didn't we? I don't know.
Hold on. I'm gonna look it up. Hold on, just so we know what the difference between this.
Literally, whenever I sent a picture before we started this to my coworker, to like our group chat in our Slack channel, I was like, "It's about to go down with the Death Nut," and one of my coworkers actually was like, "Please reply back to confirm you've come back from the dead."
So the bomb is 135,600 Scoville heat units. This is the latest one. The unique art. They just changed this, but the number 9 on the latest one is 642,000, and then hot ones. The last dab is a TBA. They haven't actually done that yet. But didn't we buy a sauce where it was like 1 million?
I don't know. I thought one of them was more spicy. This one is how many?
16 million Scoville, which I don't even know. Oh wait, no, I believe this. So if I recall, capsaicin crystals, they're what they use to make spicy food or spicy sauces, and all unnatural spicy sauces. So it's not an organic thing. So we learn how to make in the lab. That's not me, but humans out there learn how to make in a lab, like what makes spicy food spicy, and it's this specific thing called capsaicin.
It says, and when you look at the definition, it says capsaicin is an active component of chili peppers, which are plants belonging to the genus Capsicum. Mm-hmm. It is a chemical irritant for mammals, including humans, and produces a sensation of burning in any tissue with which it comes into contact.
Basically,
I shouldn't have read this before doing this.
So basically,
okay, be careful with that, because
I mean, I haven't used it yet, but this is pepper spray. This is not just any sort of pepper spray. This is like police grade stuff. And this basically, look, right here. It tells you right here, capsicum, red pepper plus invisible ultraviolet. Obviously, so it has this has that ingredient. That's what I'm saying, is that they use this in pepper spray. So we're basically going to be pepper spraying our mouth in short. So get ready, because
Wait, do the other nuts have?
No, they don't.
Are you sure?
I promise you, they don't. Which is why I'm getting ready for this now. That after I heard capsaicin, we're basically just going to pepper spray our mouth. Don't even smell it. I was going to say, be careful, because this stuff's like... So they put little... like when they say crystals, they mean like there's like little... you can see actually little pieces of it. So... I mean, let me put my headphones on now.
I wish I didn't know that. I really wish I didn't know that. That just scared the shit
So are you ready to pepper spray your mouth?
Don't take it off the table.
Let me keep it here.
Can we die from this?
No, we can't. Nobody's ever died from pepper spray. And that's literally taking a full facial of pepper spray in their nose, on their mouth. Like, you sprayed some on your leg one time, didn't you? Yeah, it was burning. Yeah, so that's the same feeling.
It burns flesh.
It doesn't burn flesh. It gives you the sensation that your flesh is on fire.
I mean, this just told me that it burns tissue.
No, it just doesn't
burn. It's an irritant. My insides.
It's an irritant. So like pepper spray is an irritant because it has the same chemical that's in there. It's gonna feel like your mouth is on fire, like someone put a fire to your mouth. That's why people who get pepper sprayed and don't do anything. It's just like, obviously they're on some stuff, but it's insane to see people just not react to being pepper sprayed. It's like, what in the world? That stuff is insane. Good pepper spray like that is insane. Saber, red, not sponsored. Ready?
Fuck, I'm so scared.
Eat it! Started already. Okay, that's it, guys. See you later.
Are you okay?
My mouth is numb. Oh god, it started.
Take a water.
Oh.
If you made it this far, will you?
If you made it this far, thank you for seeing us in pain.
If you made it this far, we just completed the Death Nut Challenge. 5 of, I guess, the world's spiciest peanuts.
Yep.
So, thank you for watching. We hope this was entertaining. Caesar and I like to do a fun episode every now and then. We want to thank you for watching. If you're frequently watching our podcast, thank you. If you've subscribed to us, thank you. If you haven't, please subscribe to our channel, like this video.
Leave a comment down below.
Leave a comment if you think you could do it, because I honestly wouldn't recommend it. Like, you don't need to prove anything to anyone. I think that's what this should be about, self-worth. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone.
Don't.
But yeah, we love you guys. We hope to see you next week. This has been Growing Together with me, Sunny Vasquez.
And me, Cesar Santos.
Have a great week, guys.
See you later.